member representing Africa on the International Organization. I want to appreciate Secretary General and the officials for what you've done. I think when you visited us, when you visited me and we had a very long chat, I didn't know you would take in what I said and move with it. I thought it's just like very many people who have come seeking direction on how they can work with schools, and that is the end. You don't hear of them again. So I must first thank you and congratulate you for moving forward. I know you are an association of artists coming together, different organizations based across our nation. I have been interacting with quite a number of you from the time I was in Nyanza. I was in school in Nyanza, Tomboya Secondary School on Lusing Island for 16 years. Moved to Higa High School, where I was for 6 years. Then moved to Chavakali High, where I was for 8 years. You are a student there? Yes. Then from Chavakali, now to Chapel School. This is my 5th year. So I've served the teaching profession for the last 34 years. 34 years. Only 3 did I serve as an assistant teacher. So the remaining 31 have served as an administrator, principal, and deputy principal. So whatever I'm going to share with you is from the lens of a principal. From the lens of a principal, and what our perception has been about you in general, and what we expect as we continue interacting, and then maybe propose 1 or 2 things that we need to do as we transit into the new curriculum. Remember now that junior secondary is domiciled in primary school, that contents are secondary. We need to start preparing for the senior secondary, where there are quite a number of new learning areas. And whether we like it or not, TSC may not agree with this, but I've kept telling them we will not be ready with the teachers for certain learning areas at senior secondary level. And therefore, we must just find a way in which we are going to adjust our staffing rules. How are we going to relate with those with the talent that we may need for us to execute the junior secondary, senior secondary to the level that is expected? Maybe I'll share that towards the end. So first, I want to appreciate what you have done to our institutions, to our students over the period of time. You come to present various set books, both in Kiswahili and in English, and our students have liked them. Some have even pushed that why is our school not hosting? You know, sometimes you go to a school and schools congregate there. Some schools have felt, no, they would wish that you go to their own individual school. But of course, that cannot happen because some do not have the facilities even to hold on that. But I must appreciate that. That is more general. But particularly, members amongst you have gone further and have engaged with schools at individual levels to support them in preparation for drama festivals, music festivals, and other festivals that the school may wish to enter. And that is where the rubber now meets the road. Leave this one to present the books, because you come as a team, you present and go. Very rarely would we get any challenges when you come as a team on a particular day to present and leave. We don't get issues. But issues start coming when we are dealing with you as an individual, where now we have engaged you to come and support us prepare for our national festivals. Because at that time, your interaction with the students and the teachers, especially those in charge of drama, music, is now more and longer and for many days, isn't it? Until sometimes somebody may forget, and imagine you are a member of staff. You too may forget that you are there for a period, and imagine you are also a member of the teaching staff. So your interaction now begins going beyond certain borders. And that is where, as I told the secretary, that is where we normally start having issues. That's where people complain, we start writing letters, and then policy documents are prepared to buy you and others. Remember, there is a policy on mentorship now with the Ministry of Education, though it has never seen the light of day. But that policy was developed to bar some of you from coming to school, that you want to come and become motivational speakers, or come and train, or do what. So it was to bar you, because the level at which the threshold they had put for qualification to be allowed to interact in school was so high. I remember I was one of the persons who raised concerns that at this level then we will get nobody. Yeah. We need you to help us prepare the students. We need you to help us make the students understand in that area. Because personally, I was a member of the drama group at Chavakali High School when I was a student. I was in Chavakali for 6 years. And I was a member of the drama group. I was that hyper student. I was in choir, but I was in drama until some of my teachers were uncomfortable because they felt I was taking too much time in co-curricular activities than my studies. But unfortunately, I would always come back and be number one or number two. So I was wondering, where are these guys complaining? But that is the fear. Even me, as a teacher, I have that fear when I see a student so much engaged in these others than the academic. But that is how our curriculum is designed. But I know with the time this will change. So as we expect you, as we engage you as experts in your fields, we also expect that you will maintain your professional ethics. Yeah, professional ethics. I just came in when Madame was talking about some performance and then girls rushing on the stage and everything. That is there, and it's always expected. But professional ethics and professional distance is very important. The issue we've had with the members of your team, some may not be your members, they may just be there and they have the talent, so they come, is keeping professional distance with the students. One, the students see you as people they can share information with you, and maybe you encourage the sharing, and maybe you comment. You've been also students, isn't it? Yes. So when they come to share with me, I may not give them my experience as a student because I know what it can do. From training, it has shown me as they share with me, I should not also become emotional and share with them what I went through, because I would encourage them. I would look for a way in which to make them understand that that is part of life. The biggest challenge we've had with some members that we recruit is they become emotional with the students' problem. When they raise concerns, we also share. When I was a student, this was raised not to Qatar. You students. So you have shared your feeling what happened when you were students, isn't it? But what have you done to this one? You provided a solution on how they should act. You've already told them how they should act. Unconsciously, you've given a direction to them, and they would go and act in the same way. Because if our trainer, during their time, this happened, and they refused and did this, the only thing you don't share with them is what were the repercussions. After the action you did, what were the repercussions? That one we rarely share. Yeah? So they pick the action, they act, and the repercussions on them become different. When they are now pushed to the wall, they now reveal the source of information. And that is where now the problem begins. So my colleague principal would raise it, share with me, and say, this is the concern we are having. What is KESSHA doing? Then I would ask them, but who engaged them? It was you, So it becomes an issue until now it reaches the Ministry of Education. So professionalism. As you come together, I'm sure you will have, or you've developed a code of conduct of your members. So that they are registered members. And as I've been pushing with the ministry and even TSC to reconsider certain things, the members should be registered and a pool identified. So that apart from you presenting as a team the set books, if I needed somebody as a resource person, then I go to the pool, to the registered organization, pick a person there, right? Come and help my student. Should I have a problem with that person, I know where to report. I know where to complain. But how the things have been, when I have a problem, I have nowhere to report. I have nowhere to complain. So I'm left to be on the wrong. If you remember a few cases where schools have found themselves in a problem, and then it is traced back to drama, it is traced back to music trainers. Eventually the person who remains in the hot soup is the principal. You are now told who engaged these people. It is the principal. Did you do a background check? Did you do that? I remember I sat in one of the meetings where one of my colleagues was being questioned. And the questions that were coming, you look back and discover that even me, I've engaged somebody, but I've not done this. Okay? I've not done a background check on his character or her character. And many times it is the men who are always accused. The men. Maybe it's because the men are many and they're the ones who are engaged more in our institutions. The ladies, normally if they come, they are just supporting the man. I've seen when I engage some of you to train my students, and I see a lady there just in the background. Yeah? So you are dealing more with the gentlemen. So the men are accused more, and especially in our girls' schools, beginning all the way from the dress code. The Teacher Service Commission has a specific dress code for teachers, isn't it? We don't go there and say my dress, my choice. It is my dress Teacher Service Commission choice. I tell my lady teachers in school, in Machako school, it is not my dress Teacher Service Commission choice. It is my dress the student's choice. Because our students are very particular. They tell me, Malimu, Madam Leo, after your exam, you are failed. Yeah, it's true. They have pressed me one time, told you to meanguka. Please don't quarrel us. Ukipata hizo grade vibaya, know where the problem is. So it's like coined the word, my dress, the student's choice. So we have a dress code, which we expect that even you, as you come in, you will try as much as possible to observe that dress code. The communication between the students and you should be purely professional. Purely professional. Where you find it is bordering on something that you feel can lead to a problem, then there is a teacher in charge of music, in charge of drama, or in charge of the activity that you are getting involved in. Even sometimes we engage football coaches, and I was talking to them the other time. Stick to your coaching, isn't it? Yeah. Don't go beyond what you are there for. If it is drama and you are told you are training from this time to this time, please stick within the time. My colleagues have had an issue where sometimes we go beyond time. I know, having been in drama and a love of drama and music, I know how much you need to put in. And many times we do it at night, isn't it? Because that is when students are not engaged in classroom activities. So we sometimes pull them out of prep to go, but we go beyond even sleeping time in Africa, lakini tunaendelea, isn't it? Mpaka saa sita na nusu. But what happens the following day, this student is not ready to attend class because he's sleeping. Yeah? So you come to the staff room and you hear these drama students, these music students are sleeping in class. They are not seen as students now. They are now classified based on the activity they are participating in. And in any staff room, you will get the overzealous teachers who will want to blow everything out of proportion. So it would always be good to liaise with the teacher in charge so that they communicate on time with their colleagues that during this period we may be going beyond up to this time. And especially in a girls' school, you know, you'll always have some extra eye. An extra eye. That is out not to look for anything good, but it will always be looking for anything bad. I may come here, this is a hall where you are rehearsing, you're standing there with a girl, maybe, and maybe the teacher in charge has stepped out. Maybe you are dealing with certain expressions you want to get from the girl. But me, I enter and I see you and the others are here. My conclusion is there is something completely wrong going on the other side. So I would advise that anytime you are dealing, ensure that the teacher in charge is always with you to protect you. So that if questions are raised, direct them to the teacher. Let the teacher respond. Even if a teacher on duty moves in and finds you, let the teacher in charge respond. Don't respond. Because they will come up and say, this person you brought has now decided to take over the school. That is the language they use. He has decided to take over the school. He's behaving like the principal. We as principals get that information. So they come and tell you, do you know what is going on? These people in drama, these people you hired, they are now behaving like the principals of the school. They have done this. Students are not listening to us. You know, with the time the students, when you call them, they will come. The drama students, isn't it? Yes. Sometimes the teacher on duty will call them and they don't go. Yeah? Because they are now more related to you, isn't it? Yeah? You've called them, it's rehearsal time. This teacher maybe does not love drama, does not love music, anataka waende prep. Ajui kama the teacher in charge had already made arrangements with the director of studies to allow the students to be in for rehearsals. So when the students don't go, the problem is now laid on you, that you are now directing students to disobey. That's why I'm saying make sure the teacher is there. As we prepare these scripts that we give, it will always be good as you start writing your scripts, be it music script or drama script, to share the ideas with the teacher in charge, with the school, so that the school can have its input. I'm saying this because sometimes we script and allow students to put the play on stage or the song, and it interferes with the Ministry of Education norms. You know? I have in mind, and I remember I was part of that, when Honorable Malala did the play for us one time. when he brought the script, looked at it and turned it down and said, no, prepare another one. But he took the same script to Butere Girls, the Chakals of Doom. My friend didn't take time to look at the script, so it was staged. When it was staged, it backfired. Politicians got in and the school went ahead and presented at the national level. It presented at the national level not to compete. Already the ministry had already decided its fate. Okay? But because of pressure, said, okay, what else chairman had to perform? But what did that one do? Immediately after that, the principal faced disciplinary action. She was now moved to another school. But that disciplinary action was still following her. Yeah? So they couldn't punish her there. They waited for her to move elsewhere and deal with her because of another omission. She was transferred in the new station. When she was in the new station, at the time the transfer came, she was out of the country. So she did not report on time to the school she was supposed to go. So they said, you have deferred. So no amount of explanation that I was out of the country could be listened. But it's the same employer who had given her permission to travel with the student. And the same employer transfers her when she's out of the country. So the same employer punishes her for not reporting on time. And it went like that. She's out. And from there, hii mili yetu na magonjwa, when you are stressed, gonjwa inapatikana. She fell sick, she's bedridden. But it all started from that place. So, you dealt with us. We gave in, we will deal. So it's always good to make sure that the script is looked at, you agree, you look at also what is going on in the country, so that we also do not become too political to create an issue for yourself and also to create a problem for the institution. Then do not become over ambitious. Madam here talked of provide a service, but don't look at what is there, is it? The service in the sense that you want to build up these children, help the school build them up. I always say I became a good public speaker, or I improved in my public speaking because I was a member of the drama club and I was acting, playing some major role. I think if I wasn't there, I would always be shy to talk before a crowd. So you play a very important role in helping these children. But the challenge we sometimes face is you give me a script, okay? You take the same script you give me in Machakos, you take the same script to a school in Western, you take the same script to a school in Nyanza. In your mind, you believe these people will never meet, isn't it? By bad luck, these guys meet at nationals. They are all presenting the same thing. You disappear at that time because you don't want to be seen on the scene. Just recently during the music festival, I had a drama, a band trainer for Machakos. So he trained certain pieces for our school. And little did we know, he was training Kabah High School. So at the regional level, we met.